everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're actually going to do a budget with me, showing my new planner for budgeting for the month of September. So if you're new here, my name's Tanya. I'm a cash stuffer and budgeter on YouTube, and thanks for joining. And if you are returning, thanks for following me. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you're interested in seeing more of my content. So this is my new planner that I have created. A lot of my planners are just based on using the tools of others that I found helpful and just kind of gearing it to be more specific to mine. So when we move over to my calendar just kind of goes through like what I expect to pay and any goals and events that we have. September is a pretty busy month. So in terms of September, one of my goals is to save a little bit extra my 1K challenge. I really want to have that completed before the new year, so I want to put some extra in that. Then going down events, we are going to Disney on Tuesday. And then we go to a farm-aid concert. It's a concert that Willie Nelson headlines, and we go every year. That's in Raleigh, North Carolina this year, so we'll be traveling for that, and that is actually the same day as Jay's birthday. So other things to note on this are sort of when my bills are due. So as you see here, and if you followed me before, you'll know I keep track of all my bills in one kind of page here. So these are my bills here. So how I do them is I go down the line and I check off what's monthly and what's annual. At that point, what I do is I take the monthly amount and the total of it, and I divide it by 4 to determine what I have to pay per week to pay these bills. Then I go through the annual ones, divide them by 12 months in a year, divide that number by 4, and get how much per week I'd also have to pay for those. That way I'm sending one lump sum to my credit card because they all come out of my credit card, and it's just a lot easier to send it that way. Might make some sense for some, maybe not for others. The annuals I probably could budget a little differently, but it just helps me stay on track so I don't forget any of them. I think as my debt comes down and there's, I start to have like a negative balance by doing this on my card, then I'm probably going to stop doing it and do it a little differently. Probably just do the monthlies and not the annuals. We'll see, but it works for us now, so I just stick with it just so I don't forget. And then back to our calendar here. So I go through those, and right now I know September has 5. I'd like to pay an extra $180. If it doesn't go towards that, it just goes towards debt. So I think there's no failing there. And then I have my insurances that I put here, and my gas and electric bills that are due, so that I prepare my checks for when those are due. So then moving on to our budget for the week. My sheet looks like this, very similar to probably a lot of sheets people have seen. And so we're just going to fill this out. So if we look back, we're on to September 1st, which would be when I get paid. We have the subscriptions that are due, and that's about it. And we don't have any other things. We are going to Disney on the 6th, but we have money saved for that. And so we can just kind of go about without any other obligations. So what I normally do is I just write 1st to the 7th. And this week our paycheck was $1,671. Ooh, I just worked last night, so I'm a little tired. Put the total there. So first I'll fill in what is due for bills. So for bills, we only have subscriptions due. So that's $180. And then we don't have any car insurance. We don't have renter's insurance this week. We don't have life insurance, gas, or electric. So the total for bills this week is only $180. Going down, we always budget $250 for food. Not only That's not necessarily all groceries. We use some of that to eat out as well, so we keep that budget intact. This amount gets sent to my credit card, and we kind of just monitor how much we spend. If we go over, normally I'll cover it with either miscellaneous, or my husband will cover that portion out of his portion of bills. For gas for me, I budget $30 a week because I don't drive that much. And then for coffees from Dunkin' Donuts, I budget $10. Again, those get sent to my credit card because I purchase my gas and my coffee through that. So that's a total of $290. I like the cashless system in this sense just because it keeps me a little bit more organized and I don't have to shuffle around cash too much. I like benefiting from the points of my card, and I don't like to lose that. So I feel like I feel like this is the best way for me. So then in terms of debt, so the way this goes is right now I'm automatically doing for my Target card $150 all the time until otherwise. For Chase, we're going to leave that for right now because whatever's left over in planning is what we spend to Chase in terms of debt. So moving on to our sinking fund. So sometimes I do a weekly minimum sheet, which I'll show you. These I kind of filled out a little bit, but I don't really have minimums a lot this month. There's gifts I'm saving for, but a lot of those gifts I'm not purchasing until October. So I'm just kind of buffing that up enough with $50 a week this month. So I don't really that's just the buffer that I'm using. And everything kind of has the same sort of plan, self-care is only going to get 25. So it would just be a lot of lines with just the same amount. So I'm not gonna do it this month because there's nothing that there's no goal necessarily for any of them this month particularly, probably because we're traveling so much, so my priorities are those. So going back, we're just gonna do pretty much a lot of the normal that we do in terms of stuffing. So Molly always gets 100, and that just kind of has worked in terms of how much we spend on her a month. So we spend about probably $400 a month on her, and I usually take that out and then put it towards the purchases. 100 for vacation, 25 for self-care, and that's because I'm going to get my nails done for vacation, but also I'm saving up for a hair appointment in November. 10 for health, and then this month Jay is going to get another 10 just because his birthday's coming up. So we don't usually do gifts because we are going to this concert, and we always go to this concert every year, so that's sort of his gift. Gifts is going to get 50. Car maintenance is going to get 50 because that's my goal for every week is to save 50. Budget with Tanya is just going to go down to 10. Miscellaneous is 50. House cleaning is 90 a week. And then home this week is going to get 20. Christmas this week is only going to get 10 just because of Disney. And Disney's going to get 50, and baby's going to get its usual 20. So what we'll do is we'll add this all up. And we have $595 as the total. Okay. And then in terms of savings, so I give emergency $25 each week when I can. Something fancy, that's a savings challenge I've been doing. Let me see if I might still be hiding in here. Oops, I might be hiding in my old. Yeah, so this is my savings challenge here. So every week we find a number and we highlight this off, and then at the end of 52 weeks it's $2,000. So I did find that I wanted to do $20, so we're gonna do $20 for something fancy, and then savings, that is a saving challenge that's physically in my binder, and it's on an envelope, and I usually pick that the moment after I'm done stuffing the previous one. So that's going to be $60 this week, and then $20 in the 1K, so I want to really buff that up. And then we scratched off $80 from last week's platinum challenge. So then I'll add that up. And that is $205. Awesome. And so then at that point, what I do is I go through and I subtract. So 1,671 minus 180 minus 290 minus 150 minus 595 minus 205. And that leaves me with $251. So then what I do with that is that goes to debt. So that would give the total going to debt $401. So then in the bottom here, I have amount to card, amount to cash, and amount to bank. So there's nothing going in the bank. In terms of cash, we just add up the sinking funds and savings because those are the only two sections that get pulled out in cash. So 595 plus 205 is $800 even. And then we add up what goes to credit. So we have two separate ones. So in terms of Chase, and there's Target. So Target gets 150 automatically, and then 180 plus 290 plus 251 is 721 is going to the Chase card. And then I had already filled this out a little prior, so skipping through here, I go through and I put in the amounts for my denomination breakdown, add it all up, and make sure I have the exact amount that I want in cash, which was $800. Other things that I have in this planner specifically is our sinking funds updates here, a note section, and just a spending section so I can kind of track my spending for the month. So that's it for the planner and the budgeting. Thanks for sticking around, and I can't wait to see you in the cash stuffing. Bye!